Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So you probably saw this creation. It was my blue dragon. So I used an embroidery hoop in the middle and guided some paint around that hoop to get the shape. And then I blew this design out. So this is on a 24 by 24 inch. I'm using exactly the same size again today, and I've got my embroidery hoop back. And that's going to be the ring that I'm going to focus on. So this is going to go directly in the middle of the canvas, and I'm going to puddle some paints around the outer edge of the hoop, remove the hoop and blow the pattern out. Can you guess what colour palette I'm going to use? Well, I'm going to take you down so you can see the colour palette. I'll show you how I've prepared my canvas with the edges, and I'll talk about the ratios that I've also used, because today I'm just using paint and water. I'll show you the brands too. So let's see what we can create. So I've got my 24 by 24 inch canvas. You'll see here I've already painted the sides and the edges black. So I'm going to have a lamp black base, and you can see here I've mixed my base, just paint and water. 1 part paint to 1 part water, so very, very fluid. It's the same with all of these colours here. So I'm going to use a white, a couple of reds, an orange and a yellow. The yellow is by Pebeo, it's a primary yellow. And then I've got my orange and my red by Amsterdam. I will list the actual colours in the description box below. And then this other colour by Pebeo is a iridescent red blue. So I'll just show you that colour. Let me get into the good light for this. Can you see how that shimmers? There's a very, very slight blue tone to that. But that's an iridescent colour, and I want that to work well with the white, titanium white, the iridescent red, and then the other red with the orange, the yellow, and a black base. So first of all, I'm just going to take my black paint and place that on the canvas and ensure that it covers the full surface area of the canvas. So I'm just tipping the paint from the cup onto the canvas. I initially pick it up to help spread it across the surface area, and then I take my blow dryer and blow the paint from the centre to the outer edge, covering all that white surface area. I'm using the torch here just to pop any of those air bubbles. The embroidery hoop is really acting as a bit of a guide for me. I want a circular design, so I'm using the embroidery hoop to ensure that I place the paint on the outer edge of that embroidery hoop. Once I've got my first colour down, I will remove the hoop and then start layering the other colours one by one on top. So now I'm going to add more colours from my colour palette. This one's the orange one. And again, I'm just placing the cup in a tilted position and releasing the paint from the cup onto the canvas in that circle shape. But I don't want to release too much paint all at once. When I'm doing a design like this, I always think it's a lot easier to add more paint within the creation than to take paint out of that creation. So as I layer the paints on the canvas, I'm very mindful not to add too much volume, but I do need enough volume to make that impact of the circle, that circle of fire. So I'm adding a little bit of white also to get some of the sparkle and some light within this picture. Just using the torch to pop any existing air bubbles, and then I take my blow dryer that's always on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed to prepare to blow the paints across the canvas in that circle shape. So I'm just testing to see how much fluidity I've got on my canvas on that base colour, that black colour, in contrast with the colours that we've layered on top. So I can already see that I probably will need a bit more of the colour in terms of the reds, the orange and the yellow. But I'm going to first of all start blowing out the colours by going round in a circle, moving my blow dryer as I go, and just teasing that paint out slightly to start getting that shape. But I want to create like a moving circle. I want it to be have a lot more movement than just say blowing it out from the center to the edge. So I'm trying to blow it in that circular motion as I go by tilting my blow dryer. So as I said, there will be areas that I do need to add more paint with, but that's totally fine because we can build those layers in as we go. It's much more preferred for me to do it this way than have too much paint, a higher volume of paint on that canvas to try and work with. So as you can see, I'm just adding some more of the reds, the orange and the yellow, and I'm going to blow out more of the paint around this circle. And by adding more paint now and adding those layers on top will ensure that I can get that movement that I really want to in this circle of fire. If you're having fun, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, share the video out, and don't forget to drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this piece. And remember, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, it's totally free to do, so hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified on when I release new videos. I try and do 2 creations a week and vary my techniques as I go. So again, just to reiterate why I'm doing it like this, I wanted to ensure that I get movement around the circle. I don't want too much paint, too much volume to blow all that paint off the canvas. I'm trying to minimise the amount of paint that I'm using and wasting. But I do have to be honest, any paint that does go onto the table gets scraped up and goes as a flow extender. So there is minimal waste anyway. But I'm just adding my last lot of colour just in this section, and then once I've blown that out, I'm going to go around the full circle again and blow it over the edges because I want some really whispery looking effects. I want that really dark contrast from the circle going out to the edges, and I can do that by using the blow dryer, blowing those tones into the black background to get that effect. So I'm really happy with the shape of this, but now it's time to make those whispery effects on the ends by blowing some of that colour further out towards the edge of the canvas and down the sides. It's just going to give that contrast of a deep bright colour compared to more of a toned down colour towards the ends, and that again will help me with the movement of this piece. So here we go. This is the final version. I'm not going to tweak it anymore. I'm going to take you in now so you can see some of that closer detail. So you can see how all those colours have infused together and how they've blended well together. And that red-blue colour, that iridescent red-blue, has created that purple tone that you might be able to see here now on the camera. I'm of course going to let all of this dry. I'm going to place this on a table. What I do is I place all my creations on cups, just on a table, to allow it to dry naturally. And here's the dry version. I'm really pleased with how it's dried. I just love those colours and how I've been able to create movement around this circle. And I'm definitely going to be calling this the Circle of Fire. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you've had a lot of fun. I've definitely had fun doing this one. And it took me a little bit longer because I really wanted to add the layers to this piece to enable me to create not only movement, but depth. Have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for all of your support. I'm really, really grateful to each and every one of you. And I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll leave you with some more of the details of the dried version. See you soon.